Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversations. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
5 years ago, the Power of We Symposium was created to provide a platform for kids from all sectors where they could have a safe and comfortable environment in which to share both their joys and concerns. The Power of We Symposium is proud to have served over 250 kids throughout Romania when we took our mission global back in May of 2023. Now, 2 teams of amazing volunteers from both the U.S. and Romania embarked on an 8-day Legacy of Hope tour, bringing encouragement and hope to not only the kids of Romania, but also the adults who support them, and also to over 100 kids here in the U.S. who contributed handwritten letters of hope to our Romania mission of 2023. Now, this year, we are proud to provide this opportunity yet again in October, and we are super excited to up our game. New venue, 750 kids this time, and we want to see you there. We're looking forward to meeting you in person at this year's event, which promises, as always, incredible speakers, amazing content, and of course, some of the greatest kids on the planet. So, mark your calendars for October 24th, and we'll see you here in Chicagoland for the Power of We Symposium 2024. This year's theme is Always Together, Never Alone. Tickets are available now on Eventbrite or at powerofwesymposium.com.
Don't see what's yours for the taking.
And I just got to say, got some new product. Y'all met them. They were on the show a couple weeks ago. That mother-daughter team out of New York City. Yes, I know it. 62 is glowing. I'm saying, woo! I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. Shout out to the Pointer Sisters. Anyway, it's Monday, y'all. My favorite day of the week. It is. Why? Because we get to do it all over again. Let me tell you what's going on here today. Right? We didn't just come in here to chop it up. Well, we are, but we are enacting one of the greatest promises that is available to us. That one that guarantees that where two or more of us, we come together. We've got that mindset. We've got that heart set. We have a spirit of togetherness. We are committed to changing this world one story at a time and easing as much suffering as we can get our hands on. Can I get an amen? I'll kick it off. I'm not ashamed. Oh, there it is. There's the first one. There it is. Where are you at today? I see you. You're looking great. Good morning to all of you beautiful people. Welcome to today's installment, the Monday edition of Bathrobe Moments. I'm your host, Dr. Lauren, and we are here today. Got a great guest for you. I just told you I love Mondays. Recap over the weekend. Didn't do much of anything, which is a great thing to be able to do. There was once a time I didn't know how to sit my ass down. I didn't, but I'm 62 now, so now it sits me down. Like, sit down, right? I'm not kidding you. I was like, okay. I'm just like, I watched the Olympics though, but I'm going to just keep it real. I'm not saying it was demonic, but there was some shows, I'm just saying, they freaky over in Paris. I'm just saying, because that opening ceremony, we were looking at each other going, what in the world? What is that? Now, anyway, but when the competitions began, woo! And Simone Biles, did you see her showing out again last night? Yes. Congratulations to all of the athletes, but in particular, all of the ones from the US of A. Great job. Keep going, keep growing, and keep showing the world how great you are. And that goes for all of you. You don't have to be an Olympic athlete to fall into that category. No, you don't. You just have to share what your divine purpose is. And that's what today's guest, Dawn M. Rivers. And I know I'm the first one to, first I was like, what is she related to Joan? Well, because I used to love me some Joan Rivers. But Dawn Rivers, wider than a mile. I bet. Oh, she's singing it backstage. I guess I'm not the first one to sing that song to her. She's here. Dawn Michelle. See, I love people that get them three names in. Lauren Michaels. Oh, we have M in the. Okay. So anyway, Dawn Michelle Rivers is here. And I'm going to just keep it real with you. I wish I'd have known her 30 years ago when I was a little bit limber. So I could have learned some yoga. Right. She's a dedicated yogi. Not to be confused with the bear and boo-boo. No, but a yoga instructor. She really is. She's an entrepreneur, and she began this journey of what she does today back in Party Like It's 1999. I know that wasn't close to the tune, the melody, but it's my universe. Y'all visiting. Now, after she founded Daybreak Yoga Studio and she was impacting thousands of people, now Dawn focuses. Oh, I was like, what does DM? Uh-oh, that was a senior moment. DMR stands for Dawn Michelle Rivers. Duh. Coaching. She has DMR coaching and consulting. This is where she uses the wisdom of yoga and her awakened woman framework to empower new small business owners. Now that caught me when she said new small business owners and women entrepreneurs to overcome burnout and achieve professional and personal fulfillment through movement, mindfulness, and mindset practices. So we're going to get her in here because I just turned 62, right? And I found a little clip about some of the science of healthy aging. You're going to be shocked at the first thing on this thing, but we're going to get Dawn in here because I hear, you don't meet too many black girls named Dawn. My best friend is Dawn Burns. Hey, Dawn Burns, for real. Tony Orlando and Dawn, but that was a group. Does that count? They were both black. Anyway, we're going to ask her. That's my ADHD, y'all. Pray for me. Pray for me. Listen, I hear her clickety-clacking down the hall. She's coming in. Put your hearts on the screen. It's how we say good morning, thank you, and welcome digitally. Here she comes. Mm. Oh, she done. Oh, you came up in here with the Vanessa Williams hair. Okay, then. Flip
Okay,
it.
then.
Oh, yes. How are you today? You look fantastic.
Thank you. I'm over here cracking up.
Oh, you are? Oh,
Yes.
that's good. That's the morning show for you. Look, you're lucky. You're blessed. I see sunshine here in Chicago. It is overcast, raining. Where are you in the world, Dawn M. Rivers?
Cleveland, Ohio, United States of America.
Now, see, that ain't even fair because that's a stone's throw away, and y'all got sunshine and we got gloom.
I mean, it's coming that way.
Cleveland, born and raised there?
I was not born here, but I was raised here. Yes.
Okay. Where were you born?
Chicago is my favorite city.
Well, duh. I'm kidding. It is. I wish I could say Cleveland was mine, but I was a little kid when I was. Wait a minute. I'm lying. I came there like 5 years ago and spoke at the Purple Project for foster care. That was in Cleveland. And I drove too from Chicago. That was a long ass drive.
All the time.
You look great. Now tell us about your family. Kids?
Yeah. So my mom is still living. So I have my mom.
Shout out to mom.
And I have two amazing children. Brittany, she's 33. Right now she's in Africa, which is amazing. She's over in Tanzania.
Wow.
And visiting, doing all the fun stuff. And my son Brenton, he lives in Los Angeles. He just turned 29 this month in July.
Oh, you had one of them bougie baby name books. You did. And then you say, I'm gonna give them both B's. I got a bunch of sisters, so I already know all the stuff that go through with those names, because I know she gonna be cute, he gonna be fine. And we wanted to so wow, I love it. Now let me just say something to you. One of your superpowers, whether you realize it or not, Dawn Michelle Rivers, is your smile.
Thank you.
Your smile is you. Oh, you already know. I ain't told you nothing, huh? Why are you so happy? Let's start there. Well, you know what? Here's what I do. I read the bio, but usually I don't even read them. But yours was so great, I just did. But I like to dip out for about 60 seconds and let you, the guest, create your own vibe with the audience. Just kick it off, pour into us, kind of speak what's on your heart today. And then we're going to come in. I got a whole slew of questions. So I'm going to dip out for a second, and then I'll pop back in. We'll get officially started. Sound good? Okay, all you. Take it away.
So let me just answer the question of why I'm happy all the time. I made 3 changes in my life back in 2013. 2012, 2013, I decided to change my thoughts, change my words, change my mind, and it changed my life because my thoughts were spinning on a negative loop. Oh, I used to hate my life. I was unhappy. I was in a marriage that was not fulfilling. And then I read a book called The Battlefield of the Mind by Joyce Meyer, and it changed everything. I was like, oh, okay. So I put my words into action. I said, well, let me just see, because she said, what we say, we hear it, and we believe it before anybody else. So I started to say, I love my life. I love my life. I love my life. It took 1 full year, and then I was like, oh, I love my life. But I put things into action. So I did some stuff like, so I was 42 that year. I did 42 things for my 42nd year. I flew a plane. I jumped out of a plane. There's my cousin. Hey,
cuz.
Let's see. I did a high ropes course. I did whitewater rafting. I read my Bible every day. I made my bed every day. I went to concerts alone. I went to movies alone. I went traveling alone. I did the things that I was afraid to do and broke out of fear. And then I would realize that I love my life. Also that summer, I called it my yellow summer. I wore yellow every single day. And then people that I knew across the United States and some people in different countries, they would wear yellow and tag me and be like, Dawn, I got on yellow too. Yep.
Oh my God. And yellow, I'm wearing yellow and I didn't even know.
It's your solar plexus chakra. It's your internal power. And I got my power back. And by the end of that whole time, I didn't do all 42 things, but by the end of that time, I was like, it's Dawn Timber. So okay. Around. And I had fun. I loved every single day. So I was like, you know what? I might as well be happy because not being happy is not the look.
It sure ain't. To the left, Felicia. Right. That's the bell of purpose for those of you who have never been here before, like you, Dawn. another Dawn Vandernaut.
Yes.
Hi, Dawn and Monica. We saw her. That's your cousin. Welcome. And all the rest of you. Yes. Oh, that's Client. Oh, nice to see all of you. So that's the bell of purpose. I ring it throughout the hour on purpose, with purpose, because it's a reminder that just like that bell, the truth has a ring to it. Better tune your fork to it. That's this, and this, right? There it is again. And also, before I get sued, welcome to the show. My sidekick, she's been here all 8 years. Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo. Love me some Lucy. Sure do. And ain't ashamed to say it. There it is. So we're going to start here. Oh, and I eat on the show. I'm just letting you know that, right. And today it's Cheerios with no sugar and a banana. Right. People think I'm healthy. No, I'm trying to keep my teeth at 62. That's what it is. So there it is. I'm just saying. So listen, I wanted to start this off because you're very purposeful in your messaging. When you said new entrepreneur, oh, well, okay, that's on purpose. And there were a couple other things in there which we're going to get to, but where I wanted to start was this thing about movement. Okay, a lot of people seriously, because a lot of people think it's all these things, and I'm gonna tell you something. You see how they be tricking us? Yeah, I got country right there. I did. I got country when I said, you see how they be tricking us? That's that ADHD, y'all. Like on those commercials where they're singing and dancing about lowering their I just lowered my A1C. You ain't nothing to dance about, right? You ought to be dancing about. I went to the produce section and left those donuts in the. You know what I mean, right? I'm talking about being proactive, preemptive. Now, how are you gonna dance about a? They need to quit. Seriously. So we're gonna talk about first this. I found a little clip. Can I share it? Just to get us out there to prove to people it's not just because Dawn M. Rivers, Michelle, feels that this is important. It is important, and we all need to do better. So let me see, because I'm not that good at I'm not techie. So this is entitled "The Science of Healthy Aging: 6 Keys." Okay, they're going to give us.
Though growing older comes with a number of major life changes, science can help inform the things we do in the here and now to forestall the most serious features of the aging self,
Watch what's first.
promoting health span and not just lifespan. Muscle mass is one of the best predictors of health and longevity. Muscle tissue is known to release its own chemicals called myokines, which can have benefits that span cognition, immunity, and anti-cancer activity. By performing regular, resistance-based exercise that prioritizes strength, we can delay the loss of bone density and risk of physical injuries. Commonly known as the sunshine vitamin, vitamin D is in fact a critical hormone that helps maintain healthy bones, boost our immune system, and improve our cardiovascular function. With age, the production of vitamin D in the skin can become less efficient, so if we don't spend enough time outdoors, our risk of vitamin D deficiency may increase. One of the most unsettling aspects of aging is the potential for neurodegenerative disease. These conditions are increasingly prevalent in those with diabetes, suggesting that the brain's blood flow and energy supply may be compromised. Research indicates that regular physical exercise, a healthy whole foods diet, and staying intellectually active could at least slow the rate of decline.
Mindfulness.
As we get older, major arteries can become thicker and less flexible, leading to increased blood pressure and undue strain on the heart. A regular mindfulness practice, such as yoga or meditation, has been shown to stem the release of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. By freeing us from this fight or flight state, this habit can improve blood flow and reduce the risk of heart attack and stroke. As social animals, maintaining a strong sense of community and close personal relationships into old age are underestimated contributors to longevity. While social isolation in seniors can result in significant physical and mental decline, research suggests that close loved ones offer important emotional support and behavioral modifications that can overcome periods of high stress. My metabolism is slowing down. That's what we often hear as the aging body becomes less effective at using energy, placing us at risk of obesity and type 2 diabetes. By maintaining our muscle mass and reducing sugar consumption, we can support hormonal health, preserve our metabolism, and keep our vitality into those advanced years.
Okay. There we go. That's a great setup.
Can I
right?
share the benefits of yoga with your community?
Wait a minute. Did you say bits of yoga?
Benefits.
Oh, benefits. Yeah, just let me say this. I went to a yoga class once, and the only seat available was in the very front row. And when I walked in, they were in the midst of, oh, come on in. Here's a seat right here. As we put our foot behind our head, I was like, I know you got to be kidding.
Right class for you, but it was supposed.
Thank you. I would love for you to share some benefits.
You going there, having to sit in the front was probably another reason. That was for you to get past some of your preconceived notions and maybe get past fear. But here are some benefits: improved flexibility, stress relief, improved mental health, reduced inflammation, increased strength, reduced anxiety, improved quality of life, boost immunity, improved balance, improved cardiovascular function, improved sleep, improved self-esteem, improved bone health, better posture and body awareness, improved brain function, and help with burnout.
Well, I will say this. I like that list a lot better than the one that they speak
I know.
at the end of all those commercials.
With me. So I have what's called, I have a course, but it's inside my coaching platform. It's a beginner's yoga course. I have dozens of videos that teach people how to do yoga, how to breathe, how to meditate, how to set affirmations. And it's all inside of my new course that I'm about, or a new program that I'm about. Yes, shameless plug.
We ready for you.
All right. The Awakened Woman Academy. It'll be launching this September, aka Dawntember, which is a 6-month program to help awaken the light within. It's to help women and men, a few men, but I mostly have women clients who are ready to go past being a stagnant Stella, which is stuck in her slow mindset of thinking like, oh, I cannot do this, having this like reptile brain of being on the loop of struggle, we'll say that, and survival.
What about stagnant Steve?
Or stagnant Steve.
Okay, because I know him.
To the searching Serena, who is looking at all the things, but there's too many things. She's like the squirrel, like shiny object, another one, to coming into what I call the thriving Teresa. And this is the person who notices that her monkey mind has settled. She has a vision for the future. She has this consciousness of like, I have some good ideas. I want to turn these good ideas into profit, and I want to make some money from it. So this 6-month coaching program is that. And inside the coaching program, they have access to my amazing course called the Beginner's Yoga course, which has all that plus other courses I have all together in there. And group coaching with me, Dawn and Rivers. We'll have bi-weekly coaching. They have access on a Slack channel to connect with people that are also in the program, and tons more. That's my shameless plug. But
you ain't lying. It sure was. Wasn't a drop of shame on it. Okay. Well, if you like it, we love it. There it is up on the screen, you guys. We're going to talk to Dawn a lot more about this awakened woman framework and these archetypes. I ain't going to lie. I had to look that word up. I was like,
this is what happened.
Wait, I thought archetypes. I was like, is she into Greek mythology? I was like, look, but then just quit playing. Somebody, I can't be the only one. I know I wasn't the only one. And it said, so I want to know which one of the definitions you were referring to, because there's two. First one is, I can't even read my right. Example of a certain person or thing, a typical example of a certain person or thing, or this was the one that messed me up. Number 2, an original that has been imitated. Right. So explain the archetype that you were referring to.
So it's the first one. This is what I realized, and this is what I share in my webinar. I actually have a webinar tonight. Another shameless plug. Bing, bing, bing,
girl.
You can sign up for that. So
I'm gonna start charging you in about 3 minutes. I'll just put as a sponsor. you ought to be. Ooh, hang out afterwards. I got something to talk to you about. Anyway, keep going.
I already have something to talk to you about.
You do?
Land. Heck yeah.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so first, so the archetypes, I noticed that there are certain type of women that come into my sphere. And I was like, who are these women? And I was like, well, they seem to be in one of 3 buckets. So I realized that one was called the stagnant Stella, which I talked about, and she has these aspirations, she has these dreams, but there's so much fear. And by the way, the archetypes are all the evolutions of Dawn, because I'm the number one case study. You always are when you create like programming.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
she's stuck in fear. She has self doubt.
Real quick, can I ask you?
Yeah.
I want to ask you about stagnant Stella. You talking about Stella Jenkins? Live over on Emerald Road, Stella Jenkins.
We all
I'm
know
just playing.
stagnant Stella.
Well, because you know what I'm thinking. Somebody's like, why she had to pick my name? Why she couldn't have said Sarah?
First of all, I was a school librarian. I have a master's degree in library and information science. I have an undergraduate
There it is.
in English. I like alliteration.
I do too. Now,
plus Stella, no shade on anybody named Stella. Stella's like an older name, right? All these names are kind of older names, but a stagnant Stella, the Stella is like an old thought, old school, old Buick. Like she's moving slow, right? She doesn't know how to get out of this what if. Well, what if this happens? What if that happens? And what if I don't have enough money? And what if nobody supports me? And so that's the stagnant Stella. Right?
So can I say something about that as far as getting old? Now listen, aging old and aging gracefully, it's like this. You have a choice now. Do you want to be an antique or a classic? See, I don't want to be an antique. They stink usually. Antiques got that weird smell to them. It's like, but a classic, they keep it polished up. They put it in a place. You see what I'm saying? I want to be a classic. And I'm going to tell you something. Let me tell you something about this, Dawn.
55 days until I'm 55. So I'll be 55.
Well, girl, that's a baby. I'm 62.
It's not.
It is.
No, it's not. We are in the same generation, sir.
Oh. See, I knew I liked you. For real, even if you don't mean it, I really like you. Okay, but here's the deal. Let me tell you why this mindset is so important. Seriously, I promise. Was it Friday or Thursday? That ain't a senior moment. I mean, it's a date. Anybody can mix it up. I think it was Thursday. I got booked for my next cover, right? It's the Beverly Hills Times Magazine. Is that my own shameless plug? So anyway, but you know what got me that gig? They read or they heard something. The publisher said, I saw this, and she reached for a piece of paper where you were quoted as saying, your goal in life is to be the black male Betty White. Because I say it all the time. I'm trying to ride it till the wheels fall off. So, right. And I'm trying to be the black male Betty White. So let's talk about that. Let's say this. Starter, where you can start. Now, I'm going to keep it real. I go to the gym.
Tell you about the archetypes first, and then you'll see this evolution of the person.
Yeah, does it got something to do with men, too?
Sure.
Because we got some men watching. I see them. And they're probably
men that could be stagnant. Stagnant Steve. Yes, he's in the
stagnant Steve. Listen up. Go for it.
The whole purpose of the stagnation is fear. You're stuck in this loop and you don't know how to get out. Right? Yeah. And so the stagnant person needs a little push to get out. I can't give her too much too soon because she'll be like, I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. It's too much. So she needs a little. And then we have Searching Serena. So what would be an alliteration for what's the man's name? Searching Sean? No, that's SH.
Sam.
Okay.
Searching Sam.
Okay, we'll say Searching Sam. So Searching Sam is very curious, right? They're on the path. Searching Serena is open-minded, constantly exploring new ideas, almost to a fault though, because they don't know how to time manage and they don't know how to organize. So they'll have too many things stacked. They might say, I'm about to lose some weight. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to drink a gallon of water. I'm going to walk 5 miles every day. I'm going to meditate. That's too many things. And they get overwhelmed again, and they might go back to stagnation, be like, it's too much. It's too much. So they need a guide. They are the hero or shero on their own mission.
So can I stop right there? Let's crossing guard of purpose. Let's stop right there. Stagnation. How close? How do we get beyond that if we're sitting in a chair of procrastination?
So procrastination is not a bad idea. Procrastination is a protective defense, right? It's usually because they're afraid to move forward. So it's not that they're
what are we afraid of, Dawn?
Say again?
What are we afraid of?
We're afraid of usually imposter syndrome. We're afraid of somebody judging us. We're afraid.
Oh, that one.
We're afraid
Shame.
of, yes,
Who she thinks she is? She
yes,
needs to sit her old ass down. She know that dress is too short for her age. You know what? I'm so over that kind of stuff.
that kind of stuff, or anything. So putting out like an idea. So remember, we're talking about these new entrepreneurs, this woman or this man who has an idea, but they're afraid to launch it. They're afraid to put it out because someone's going to judge them. So what? We all make mistakes. The only way to get better is to fumble through. I call it fall forward, failure, right? We got to fall forward, pick ourselves up, and keep moving. And we have
Can
to
I
learn
ask you
how to
something?
use that with a guide. So that's what I'm talking about. So searching Serena is searching, but it's too many things. Think about everything.
Right there. There's the word. I knew it was coming. That's why I was like, can I ask you something? I knew that word was coming. Let's stop right there again. Here we go. TOO, y'all. Leave it at the end of the sentence where it belongs, where it is inclusive, it is of increase. Oh, you can get some of this goodness too. Not, it's too late. I'm too old. Girl, I'm too stiff. Talk about that, what we say to each other. Because I'm going to keep it real. I love going to the gym and I have personal trainer. But if you were to tell me I could do yoga, I would say, girl, you too crazy.
So I don't know if you can see my mat over here. Let me see right there.
What mat?
I have a yoga mat I created a while ago.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look at you point to it.
So the yoga mat is called Your Own Growing Awareness, or yoga. So the more that we practice yoga, this mindset, the more we become aware of who we are and what we need to change or do to move forward. So everything is in our future, right? Everything is there. But
Is there any yoga you can do without having to get down on the floor?
Yoga is a lifestyle. It's a mindset. Yoga is not just posture. That's one aspect of yoga. So
Really?
movement. Mhm. Yes. So when we think of the 10,000 years ago when yoga came on the scene in India and trickled down over to Africa, and the two of them like connected these different ideas because people were traveling. But that's a different story for a different day. So the ideas were about mindset, was about meditation, was about like making the body whole. And so they were like, well, people are, as it slowly changed and came closer and closer to like the householders, that as we call it, the people who had jobs, they weren't necessarily being still, or they weren't moving their bodies like they were when they were working in fields or when they were doing construction, building homes. So they needed to do something for their bodies to stay healthy. So they created movement. So it was really about meditation. It was about mindset. And then movement came in hundreds of years later.
Yeah.
People know in the East, it's a whole lifestyle. In the West, they think it's just movement, and it's not. It's all.
Can I ask you something?
Of course.
Do you feel, and this is a serious question,
Yeah.
because you know, a lot of people of color think yoga, that's for white people. That ain't for us. We don't do yoga. Right. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because they come from these Eastern practices, Western practices, all these things with, you know what I'm saying? Because East meets West. Talk about that, because that's a lot of the mindset. You know, just like we're taught what happens in this house stays in this house. We don't talk about things that are going on we self-diagnose a lot. That ain't nothing but a little bit of gout. We don't know what it is, but we gonna call it what we want to.
It's fear. Everything is fear. So, and it's okay, because if we think about African Americans, were enslaved people, and our ancestors passed on fear to keep us safe. Right?
Explain that. I like it, but
Okay,
explain
so
it.
think about whoopings, right?
Ooh, had a
So
boatload of those.
whoopings came from being whipped as an enslaved person to keep fear and to keep them in line. So as parents would raise their children, they would whoop them to keep them in line so they don't become a person who is murdered by a white supremacist for having a thought, an idea, or even, like expressing themselves. So they would whoop them to keep them in line, to keep them safe, right? And they would say, keep our stories inside our home to keep us safe. Not think beyond, because you don't want to like think beyond a white supremacist.
Right.
You don't have these thoughts or ideas because it could get you killed. So it's still there, but our young people are breaking those curses, those
Yeah, they
ideas.
are.
They're
Yeah, they
debunking.
are. Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Yes.
heard this one Instagram. My Reiki teacher sent this to me a couple years ago, and they were talking about mother-daughter connections and relationships. And we think about a grandmother, a mother, and a granddaughter. The grandmother is a 1945 Buick, right? The mother might be a 1967 Buick, and maybe the granddaughter is a let's say 97 Buick. Can that 45 Buick catch up to that 97 Buick? No.
No.
They got different engines, they got different steering systems, right? Power this versus manual. They're not going to catch up. They're the same model, but slowly they're moving forward differently, right? So we have to be understanding that our grandparents are going to think differently than our parents, that they're going to think differently than our grandparents, our granddaughters, our grandsons. We're all the same, but we have different mechanisms inside. So it's about grace and understanding and acceptance.
That's a great word. Love it. A lot of us don't extend it enough. So let's talk about starting points. Do you have to particularly start with the physical aspect of yoga, or can you start with the mindset and it help lead you into other elements of yoga?
So the Awakened Woman framework was
Oh,
built
Lord, here we
on.
go. Hold on.
You didn't know what you got when you said, "Dawn, get on the show."
Yes, I
The
did.
Awakened Woman framework was built on what is an ancient book called the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. Where am I? The camera. And this is another book from a long time ago. But Patanjali may or may not have been a compilation of people or one person. That part doesn't matter. But the idea was to teach people how to interact in society the right way. So the first step in the Yoga Sutras, or the 8 steps, is called the yamas. And then the second step is the niyamas. So the yamas are these, like, this reflection of who you are in society. So the first one, everybody knows it, is called ahimsa, or non-violence. When I say non-violence, who do you think of?
Martin Luther King.
Exactly. You know why? Because
Thought I was gonna miss that, didn't you?
So Dr. Martin Luther King studied Gandhi, who had a non-violent reformation in India, and he was counseled to study him. So he was going to go over to India and meet up with Gandhi, but then he was assassinated.
You've been to India?
So Martin Luther King, Dr. Martin Luther King was
No,
going to go
you.
visit. Have I?
Yeah.
No, not yet.
You going though, huh?
One day.
I already know.
One day.
Okay, go on. Keep going.
So he took this idea and was like, oh, so the first step in yoga has nothing to do with movement. It's all about how are you interacting in the world, right? So nonviolent, like, I don't need to be violent in my thoughts and my words and my actions with myself or other people. So the first thing that the awakened woman has to do is to practice peace. She has to practice peace with herself. She has to know herself. So as we do that, we go from the yamas to the niyamas.
Okay, wait, we got to stop. We got to stop right there. Crossing guard of purpose, stop the traffic. Let's go back to this practice piece. See, we could have ran right past that. Practice means not a shared custody agreement with some stuff. You don't pick it up and lay it down every other weekend on holidays. You have to be consistent. You have to be a great steward, right? Because that lends to your obedience. Doing it consistently, or you're going to miss all the magic within it. So talk about what you mean when you say practice. For instance, meditation. A lot of people of color, I'm not, because I went to Sanjit Chopra's house. He's a good friend of mine. That's Deepak's brother. I went to his house for a whole 5 days to learn.
Friends?
Yeah, we friends. That's like my boy, for real. I can introduce you. So look, they taught me TM. Transcendental. I do it twice a day, 10 minutes each time. Oh, but I see a lot of people go, that's the devil.
It's not.
So, I know, but talk about mindset and breaking of old chains. So do you meditate? Oh, I see you doing your breath work. Y'all see that? You try to ease it in. I see you doing it.
I'm a Christian, and when I was imbued with the Holy Spirit, we'll say
There
that.
you go.
The Holy Spirit came in.
See.
I was prophesied over, and this lady told me when I was like 18 years old, 17, 18 years old, you are a light on a hill. So I took that to heart. In daybreak yoga, the symbol is this sun rising between two hills. But the whole purpose is that I wanted to bring people together based on some of my spiritual beliefs. And as I read the Bible a few times, what I've learned and known is that meditation is this practice of you sitting still, you being quiet, so you can hear. Period. Right?
Exactly.
People are sitting in stillness. You could call it, but see, the difference is that some people think that if I run, I'm meditating. If I'm swimming, I'm meditating. It's not. Stillness is a part of meditation.
Yeah.
Meditation is not movement. That's a meditative practice. It's not meditation. So meditation is turning off everything. Meditation is not listening to an app, but that's okay if you do it. Meditation is
like Insight Timer.
No, yep, don't do it. Try your best to sit quietly by yourself. It's scary now because
a lot of people can't do that.
Yeah.
A lot of people, can I tell you?
Yeah.
You know how I got to that point, which led eventually to me going and learning what I just mentioned. But I used to do a thing because I just needed a way to be peaceful. And I learned it from two boys that used to come out here to the suburbs from Chicago, African-American boys, and they would come out and sell candy on the weekends. And one day, and I said, well, you guys, they were talking about how the black folks were letting their dogs out on them. Right. And they knock on the door. Right. So I said, I'm going to pick you up from now on at the train station and drive you around. I want to see who's doing this. So anyway, I said, call me and tell me when you're on the way. And I'll stop what I'm doing. I'll meet you at the train station. So they call and they're whispering. I was like, why are y'all whispering? Because we're in the quiet car on the train. They said, because we love the quiet car. Because in the project.
Car on the train in Chicagoland?
Yeah, there's a quiet car where you can't talk or do anything out loud. But these kids.
She on the train every morning. Did you know that?
Yeah, they have that now. So, but these boys, it was amazing. They said, we live in the projects and there's never silence.
There's never silence.
Never silence. So that is why.
There's chaos and all that noise. It keeps you chaotic.
Right. But wait a minute. So they taught me. So when they got in the car, I turned the Sirius XM off because I knew how important it was to them. And it started a practice where every Monday, today, which is my production day, and I do a lot of running around, no music or audiobooks in the car, just me in the silence, because it does wonders. So absolutely, I know that was a long way to get there, but sometimes the children can show you things you have no way of knowing. You think you know everything. So there it is. So let's talk about this peace.
That's peace. Well,
that we're looking for.
This is where we get to Thriving Teresa. She has peace.
Her again.
Thriving Teresa. Thrive. You want to thrive. When you think of thrive, it's past survive. It's past I'm just trying. It is like everything is in alignment. All the disparate parts of yourself have come together. The pieces of you that have been broken are one, right? When you're thriving, you're embodying this self-assurance. When you're thriving, you have personal fulfillment. When you're thriving, you have a vision. When you're thriving, you take chances. When you're thriving, you're like, I am about this life. So when you got to practice peace, you got to know yourself. You have to have systems in your life. Yeah, she said she loves the quiet cars. I knew she knew that. So like in my framework, it's all based on the yamas and niyamas from the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, which you don't have to practice yoga, but you are practicing yoga, because every day that you be intentional, you're practicing yoga. And then the 10th part of this yama and niyama journey is awakening. It's bliss. So when you meditate, the purpose of meditation is called samadhi. It's to get to bliss. Is to get to this state of you hearing without even begging or pleading. God is always talking to us.
Always.
Universe. I said we whisper things to God's ears, and God is going to boomerang it back. He's going to be like, he, she, that, God, self. God is going to boomerang it back. But you got to be ready. You cannot have chaos. You cannot have distractions. You need to have peace in order to hear, see, and know.
Well, in here again, for clarification, folks, you know, when you say you cannot have somebody, well, I don't have control over the chaos in the world, but you have control of where you go to set those boundaries. Now, I'm going to say this too. Again, back to you can't have a shared custody agreement. Listen, I know for a fact, that's why there's the bell of purpose, there's a wall of purpose, there's all these things I keep around on my desk. This is a reminder that I'm not doing this alone, that I'm a part of a co-creation. I have to be so honest with myself that I know that it's possible that I may not wake up every day feeling like this guy sitting in this chair, but I must do my best. Oh, there we go. Talking about these, y'all, the 4 agreements, right? So
it's a part of my coaching program.
Mine too. There she go again. Wait, I'm hitting it every time. Shameless plug again. There we go. La 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 la. Okay, here we go. So I want to ask you this though. A lot of people, a lot of us, I include myself because I got shades of it. I really do. Where let's talk about some things that we can put in place to help us be more accountable. Because if you look back over your shoulder to the life you've lived, those things that never really took off, it's usually because we break our own covenants with ourselves. I'm fitting to. You see what happened was, right. But what do you do to make sure that you practice something long enough that it can get some traction and become a habit?
Well, you have to tell other people what you're doing.
Oh.
Yes. So, for example, last year I had an accountability partner for 50 days of gratitude. So every day she and I would text one another and say what we were grateful for, because you forget. If you don't have somebody who's going to be like, hey, where's your gratitude? Why are you not, telling people what's going on? Then you won't do it, right?
That's true.
You won't do it. So that's the biggest thing, is having community so you can be grateful. Yes, right? That's the first thing. The second thing is write it down. Write it down. What I've learned and know for me is that when I write things down, it becomes real, right? I can't just be like, I think I'm going to want to. No, I got to write it down so I can see it. So having an accountability partner, being in some kind of community, being in Dawn and Rivers coaching, which, we talked about, being with somebody who's going to be your guide. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that before we wrap up. So think about every major movie that is so amazing. One of my favorites is The Matrix. And Neo is this reluctant hero. He doesn't know that he's the one. But Morpheus is like, you're the one. I got you. So he has to take him into like this fighting stage, and they're fighting. He's learning how to fight. And he wants to give up on himself. He's like, I can't do it. And Morpheus is like, you got this. Get up. I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm going to show you how to do this. And then once it clicks, he's able to stop the bullets that are coming at him. He can dodge them. He can slow down time. He can walk up walls because he finally believes in himself. The guide helps the hero or the shero recognizes their power. And if you're not feeling that, that's why you need accountability from somebody else who can see something bigger, farther, wider than you can, and say, you got this. You got this. Think of every major athlete in the Olympics. Who do they have? A coach. They can't be in the arena without a coach.
Right.
It will not happen.
Now, again, before we move forward, we're going to stop. I'm right on board 1000% with the importance of writing things down. You all, the moment you take it from here and you bring it here, it is now 3-dimensional. It's not just inside this place where all these meteors of ideas and inspiration sparks are flying around. I've extracted it and brought it here. I'm going to show you something. And I'm serious. When I say, when you say what you mean and mean what you say, it's like this. I can't stand when people say, well, I need somebody to pray for me on Facebook, and all of a sudden everybody hit the little praying hands. Ain't uttered a syllable of a prayer. That is not the same thing. Okay? So listen, all this stuff that's in these studios hanging on the walls and all over they didn't start like that. Those magazines back there didn't start as magazines. They started as Post-it notes. And look where they at. This is the ones that have manifested. These are the ones. And look, I keep them in a velvet box because I'm showing what is greater than me, that I'm a great steward and I honor it. I revere it. These are the ones that are still, I'm still manifesting, right? But they were inspirations. They started on the wall of purpose as post-it notes and flew over my head and materialized on the walls behind me and around me. I'm going to tell you why that works, because whatever you believe in, believe that it walks before you, believe that it stands beside you, believe that it is behind you watching for things you cannot see. And the only way to get that thing working to the maximum degree of co-creation is to be consistent. Be consistent. So, Dawn, let's go to the point where how does a person know I can do this? How do they talk themselves out of that crap talk and into this I can be that and more talk?
So before I answer that, I wanted to piggyback on your writing down one thing you're grateful for. In yoga, we call it a sankalpa. This is yoga philosophy. A sankalpa is your sacred vow.
See?
So it's a one vow that you say, and it might be 18 months, it might be 5 years, and you say it over and over. So when I was struggling and in 2018, I was having so many things coming at me, and I went to this training, and one of the teachers helped me write my sankalpa. And at the time it was, I release control to make room for abundance. I had to write it down. I had to record it and listen to it. I had to say it over and over and over until I was like, so practicing it. And I was held accountable by my teacher because she was like, no, I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it. So she guided me until I got to the purpose of my sankalpa, and then it changed me. So I forgot.
Did you say sankalpa?
Sankalpa, Sankalapa.
Yeah. Beth Hare Lewis, that's where you got your band's name. Beth Hare Lewis, she's a good friend of mine. Her sister's Nikki Harris, Madonna's background dancer and singer from back in the day. And she has a band by that name. Now I get it. So, but okay, so what about this? There's a lot of reference to the Eastern philosophies and whatnot, and that can be a bit intimidating to some people. Seriously. So like if someone says, I'm going to go on Amazon today and get me a little starter book about it, because I picked up some of those books and they're just too advanced. You got to know where to begin. You really do. So do you have any suggestions, any tips that you can give people on where it is a nice place that meets you where you're at?
Yes, there are so many books. I would start with this pocket-sized book. Like, this is not the full version of the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, but a pocket-sized book gives you just a little bit of things. So sutras are aphorisms or small little sayings. Like a lot of times in the Black culture, we will create like a new phrase, right? A little new word. And this idea gets stuck. That's the same thing as sutras. So sutras were taught because they weren't writing things down 5,000 years ago. They would say it verbally, so the intonation, it would like flow, and they would remember it. So this is translated from the Sanskrit, which is a dead language, kind of like Latin is, into English. And then there was this a sage or a teacher who talked on it, and they created a book based on that. So this is a very good entry point to understanding it. And a lot of people will say, oh, it sounds like the 10 Commandments, or, oh, it sounds like King Solomon's words in the Bible, right? Like there's lots of things where the culture, if it's a principle, it crosses over all religions and boundaries.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And that's important right there, y'all. Don't miss that. Because sometimes we throw the baby out with the bathwater when, it may say it one way in Mother Goose. It may say it another way in the Farmer's Almanac. It may say it another way in the Bible. It may say it another way in hieroglyphics. But the moral of the story is, and remember this, the truth has a ring to it, just like that bell. Listen for it. If you don't hear it, it doesn't resonate, leave that and take what does. But just don't say, no. You're really working against yourself. Seriously. So, Dawn, we were talking about starting points. On the screen underneath is your website and the academy. Talk about tell people what they'll find when they head over.
Oh my gosh, this is so new. I'm still building it. So right now, I want you to join the wait list, because if you join the wait list, I'm going to drop certain things about the academy.
Okay, wait. When you said wait list, please say it ain't WEIGHT, because I'm a little sensitive about my weight right now.
Waiting for the real drop.
Oh, WAIT. Okay.
Sign up right now. As soon as you sign up, you have access to thousands of hours and resources that I have in this academy. The coaching won't start until the group coaching won't start till later, but there are things that they can start now. So I have a meditation course. I have a yoga course. I have a yoga philosophy course. I have a course on the yamas and niyamas. I have business courses in there. There's so much stuff that I've done over the last several years that I'm putting all together in the academy. So the academy right now is $500 off. It's going to go up, y'all. But
so listen, I heard you, Geneva. She said $500 off. Damn, how much is it?
It's $2,500 right now if you sign up early. But this is 6 months of coaching. This is like $13,000 worth of coaching for $2,500. Excuse me, you're going to have access to me, right? You're going to have access to me and my wisdom and the things that I have put together to help people go from the stagnant Stella to the searching Serena to the thriving Teresa. Create your own framework for either your personal.
What about victorious Venus? You can't leave Venus out. Serena always getting it. Give Venus a little shine. I'm just kidding. Okay. What about this, Dawn? What about the podcast? Because we got like no time. Yeah. Tell them about the podcast real quick as we get out of here.
The podcast. So like the podcast was something I started in 2022, and then I got overwhelmed because I was like, I wanted to be perfect. And then I met somebody online, and she was like, girl, if you don't relaunch that podcast. And I was like, for real?
And quit playing. So I'm launching it dirty. So right now it's in my my bridge season. So from 2022, I'm doing some summer episodes. And then this fall, AKA Dawn Timber, is the new podcast Dawn
season.
Timber.
So
well, my birthday was in the
tips. I give some tools, techniques, so people can live that life that I'm talking about. Happy, whole, and free. That awakening.
There you go. Listen, you guys, get over.
New episode dropped this Monday, so you can head over there right now and listen.
Okay, there you go, you guys. Listen, do yourself a favor. Go in and check out all things Dawn Michelle Rivers. And thank you, Dawn, for coming in today, pouring into everybody. It's been a real pleasure. And thanks to all of you all. I tell you all the time, I couldn't do it without you, nor would I want to. Now, listen, get out of here. Come back tomorrow, if you will. Krista Ford is here. She is a world record holder in all kinds of female powerlifting. She is amazing, and she was the first Black female on the U.S. women's bobsled team. Wait till you hear what she's doing now. She'll be in Chicago in just a few weeks defending her international powerlifting title. That's Krista Ford tomorrow. Don't miss it. And listen, get out of here. Get out of here. Go out today and do whatever you have to do. Find one E and one R. Pull it up close. You're already great. Make yourself greater. You're already kind. Find a way to be kinder. You're nice. Now, how can you become nicer? Do that and watch what happens. I'll see you tomorrow morning over on the front porch, God willing, where together we'll have another illuminated conversation. Now, as I say, get out of here. Don't let my screen door slam on the way out. And I love you, and there ain't a damn thing you can do about it. I'll see you. Have a great day. Dawn, wonderful job. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Side.